like to bring our students in as part of our opening ceremony, our Nativity Color Guard.
Nativity report.
Now you can stand.
My time. Now, group, hold.
Just right, dress. Ready, front.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors.
Pose. 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 Pose.
Modified, preset, order. Order, order.
Pose. Pose. Pose.
March on, march. Left wheel, march. Group, halt.
Pose.
Mark time, march. Left, 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 right. Forward, march. Left, 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 right.
We can give them a round of applause.
Name, we thank you for this opportunity that we have to come this morning to further your call and further your mission. We pray that you would be with us, help us to understand and recognize that our children are our future. Bless us and touch us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. You all can have a seat. Did they do a wonderful job? Well, thank you all again for coming to our 6th annual Breaking the Cycle of Poverty Through Education Breakfast. My name is Lavelle Muhammad. I am the Executive Director and Principal, and I'm so proud to stand before you today because we want to introduce to you all about the Nativity School of Harrisburg and reintroduce what we have been doing for those who have been our supporters for several years. Our program is growing, is developing. As you can see, our breakfast continues to keep growing. And we're proud of that. Our students are overcoming all the adversities. Academically, they're improving. They're getting better. They're getting into college. They're graduating. They're coming back. They are truly breaking the cycle of poverty through education. And I'm proud to stand here just to be a member of the Nativity School of Harrisburg. I don't want to say a lot of words because you're going to hear a video today. You're also going to hear from 2 or 3 of our students as well as our supervisor of curriculum and instruction. I'm just the appetizer. The main meal is Mr. Wetzel, who I'm sure many of you have come to hear today. But before we start, again, thank you, and I don't want to forget anybody. However, we have some public servants who are in the house today that we got to recognize. Can we give a round of applause to our Mayor Eric Pappenfuse? And I see Miss Patty Kim back there. Can you give her a round of applause? Senator DeSanto, I saw him here too. Can we give him a round of applause? And Councilwoman Danielle Bowers, is she here today yet? Okay, we'll give her a round of applause. She's on her way. But I just want to say one word, 1 or 2 words rather. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. First off, sorry about those Green Bay Packers. It was a tough one, but we persevered through that. But on a serious note, I saw a study that I thought that I should share with you. And they were trying to determine why so many schools in America are underperforming. Why are they failing? So they did a study of all these schools, and they found out that the number one reason why schools are underperforming and they have become toxic is not because of lack of financial resources, like I thought, like many of you may have thought. It's about money. But it wasn't. They said the number one reason why schools are underperforming is because the teachers don't believe that the students can perform. So if you're teaching a child and you don't believe that they can overcome their circumstances and their conditions, then you're really not going to teach hard. So that's one of the reasons why they say many of these schools are not performing adequately. Well, I'm here to stand before you today and say that's not the case for the Nativity School of Harrisburg. We have teachers and staff and a board of directors that have a vision. We really want students to break the cycle. We want them to internalize change, internalize education. And we're providing that service by, we have created an environment that has helped them as a launching pad to their lives. Our boys are going to different high schools. We are a feeder for Bishop McDevitt High School, so most of our students go to McDevitt. However, we also send students to Trinity. We also send students to Harrisburg Christian, Harrisburg Academy, Dauphin County Votech and SciTech, as well as Milton Hershey. We have a lot of partners. But our goal, again, is to break that cycle, and our students are doing extremely well at these high schools. If you're from any of the high schools or you're an administrator from any of our high schools, can you stand up, please? We want to welcome you. Thank you. Oh, I saw Bishop McDevitt. Where's Bishop McDevitt? Let's give them a round of applause. I could stand up here all day, and I really could, without any notes and talk to you about this wonderful program, but I want to be respectful of your time. So I want to move forward. If I could please bring up Miss Elsie. Let's give her a round of applause. She's going to take us further into our program. She's our supervisor of the teachers in curriculum and instruction.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Felicia Elsie. I am the Director of Curriculum Instruction for Nativity, and I have been with Nativity for 8 years now, and the time really flies. I can tell you one thing, I do not work at Nativity for the money. I work at Nativity for the boys and for the impact that I can make on the students, and quite frankly, the impact that they make on me. The two students that I'm going to bring up today to share a couple of words about you were some of the first students that I had when I was a teacher at Nativity. And they really warm my heart, and I look at them every day, and they look to me like grown men, and it puts a little tear in my eye and also makes me feel very, very old. The first one that I'm going to bring up is truly a diamond in the rough. He really was in 6th grade. We were like, what are we going to do with this kid? And he has blossomed into an awesome young man, and I could not be more proud of him. So come on up, Kyrell. Kyrell is a senior at Harrisburg Academy.
Hello. My name is Kyrell Johnson, and I'm currently a senior at Harrisburg Academy. I shouldn't be here doing this today, but Nativity made it happen. This school has shaped me into who I am without me really realizing it until I graduated. I plan to go into Air Force ROTC when I go to college and get a degree in electrical or mechanical engineering. During my 4 years at Harrisburg Academy, I've learned to be more open-minded, knowledgeable, caring, principled, reflective, and overall balanced. I'm currently the head captain for a state qualifying robotics team, and I swim, do track and field, and other various sports while maintaining my workload. Nativity helped guide me to do all the things I do, and I'm so grateful for it. If you ask Mr. Muhammad or any other faculty about how I was back then, I bet they'll tell you how stubborn I was. But I also bet they'll tell you about my progress from 6th grade to 7th and 7th to 8th. And they'll tell you how much I've grown as a person. If I hadn't gone to Nativity, then I would most likely not be the person that's standing before you. Now, the person that's standing before you has went to Iceland over this past summer. Beautiful country, absolutely. I couldn't see myself going there. But did you know that in the summer solstice that there's only 22 hours of light? Just only. Which is crazy. We had blackout curtains and all that to actually sleep. I also mentioned robotics before. This is a big part of my high school experience. Disclaimer, the robot does not come pre-built. We take a bunch of metal bits and pieces and motors to make it. I also have experience coding the robot too. This robot competes against other team-built robots in an arena. One of many ways to score was to pick up a plastic ball and launch them as a target. It's pretty hard to do, especially if you're the one controlling it with a teammate on 2 separate remotes. Okay, I'm getting a bit off topic. But again, I cannot stress how thankful I am for the opportunity that was graciously given to me by this school. This school has broadened my horizons and introduced stuff that I didn't think was all that pertinent to me. And then I realized that. I shouldn't be here today doing this, but Nativity made it happen. Thank you.
Doesn't he look so grown and adult-like? He's so cute. The next student I'm going to bring up is Jeray Nearly Speaks, and he was one of my first babies when I started at Nativity, and he'll actually be a part of the first class of graduates from college that I'll have from being at Nativity. So he's really special, near and dear to my heart. He's such a sweetheart, and I'm so proud of him. Come on up, Jeray.
Good morning. My name is Jeray Nearly Speaks. I'm currently a junior at Harrisburg University, majoring in software engineering. So before I want to start off, I'm really excited I have the opportunity to share one of my beliefs, which is more like a fact, that I believe that every child should have a support system or some type of support whatsoever. I'm so blessed that I got to cross paths with a small institution, which is now developing, which provided me with structure, education, welfare, and overall support. The Nativity School of Harrisburg is really near and dear to my heart. I recall back when I first enrolled in 6th grade. It was a different world coming in. It was really tough for me. I was shy, new face, new school, and I didn't really have the passion to learn like I do now. But over the course of my time at Nativity, they helped me open up my shell. They provided me with opportunities. They got me connected one-on-one with a tutor who, to this day, I still contact. And she's really close to me. She helps me a lot. I have lifetime relationships with my teachers, lifetime friendships, bonds, and overall created 3 principles that I follow today, that I follow for my education and success, which is courage, respect, and integrity. Being who you are, knowing who you are. And I followed this all through my high school career, which helped me to excel at everything I did. Helped me get through the rough times. Nativity is always on the sidelines. If I'm on the path and I stumble a little bit, they're right there to pick up the phone, the answer, to get me right back on that path and send me along my way. Carrying that into college, I was honored to receive the ASP Award, which is the Academic Success Program Award at Shippensburg University, where they frame my name and they put it inside the college walls, which is very honorable. It was a tremendous accolade for me. Thank you. So fast forwarding now, like Kyrell, I'm into programming, software engineering. But when I first discovered I wanted to do this, I had to jump through a lot of hoops. I had to talk to a lot of people. People tried to steer me to different paths. But like I said, I kept that 3rd principle, integrity, wanting to know what I want to be in life in the future. So I stuck to that. And Nativity was behind me all the way, 100%. Make sure that I don't give up. Do what you want to do in life. Don't let people take you over there, point you in that direction. You do what you want to do. So I stay with that. So that's where the support comes in. And I have a lot of support over at Shippensburg University with my advisor, Dr. Wellington. Sorry. But my mission as of right now, I want to graduate my undergrad, go into my master program, do cybersecurity, then hopefully one day, as I was a former student, I can become a new teacher at Nativity School of Harrisburg. And I can teach the younger kids how to code. And that opens up a lot of opportunities, a lot of jobs, like to look for people who code. You can basically do anything that you want. So that's my mission right now. And I believe that can break the cycle of poverty. Thank you. Enjoy your breakfast.
I just wanted to come back and say, both of their stories are very heartfelt, and they really are the reason why we are all in this room today, to help children like that to succeed, to see children like that, to make that change, to make that turn towards where they want to be, to get those values, that integrity as Jeray spoke about, and to keep that all the way through. And we like to say, once you come to Nativity, you're in the Nativity family forever. And they're in the family forever. We'll be at their weddings, their birthday parties, all through college with them, because we just love them and it's really on our hearts. And I appreciate all of you guys coming today, because that means it's on your heart as well. Thank you.
I think those guys are trying to get my job. They can articulate themselves, they can dress, they're well-mannered, they're trying to get my job. So what we like to do now is watch a video. We played it last year, backed by popular demand. You'll get to be able to see what Nativity does.
Nativity is a whole bunch of great things together. It's just, I love Nativity.
The children want structure, they want guidance, they want help, they want their minds to be cultivated. They want to be successful and they want to have great qualities of lives when they get older. So what we do is provide an environment to be able to cultivate that. And we provide a positive path for them, and then we walk with them during that path.
So the biggest thing that all the people always say is that we're strict here, and we are. From the very beginning, we kind of set the expectations. This is all those things that you were able to do at your last school or that you saw other people do, they're not acceptable here. And then the biggest piece of kind of building that culture is just reinforcing it.
You have to have actions with your words. And some of these children are coming from backgrounds where you have to peel that onion back. You have to pull that rough exterior off, and within the core of that onion is the heart of it, the real child. And when you get to the core of that onion and that child realizes that you really care about them, then they will give you their best.
When I came to Nativity, it was a different experience, a lot more discipline. You can't do what you was doing at the other school that you could do here. So I had to make a lot of adjustments, a lot of changing, so I could stay here and succeed.
Our children come from tough environments. We bring them in, help them to persevere through that with the academics, with the type of environment that we have, which is just full of love and compassion. My staff is just, they go over and beyond to serve the needs of our students.
It's really fun. We do a lot of different things. It's not like a public school. We can't get into fights and all that.
I love my years here at Nativity. The teachers were great. I built strong bonds with the teachers. I felt like they had me ready academically for Trinity.
Life-changing, I would say. I think these kids, they just grip onto your heart and you can't let go. For a long time, I was trying to figure out what my mission and passion was. And when I came here, it was like, this is it. This is what I was supposed to do.
They know there is an expectation to do well, even in public. I said, because you are part of Nativity.
A lot more learning going on here. The teachers helped me a lot more. They're very loving and helping and caring. My favorite thing to do here would be, it'd probably be math class. I like math and I like science because we dissect animals and stuff like that.
We're a family. The kids see it as that, we see it as that, and we want them to feel like a family, so we show them every day that that's what we are.
And I like this school because you get to open up your expressions of who you really are and what you want to be. You be you.
It's a challenge every day. Every day it could be something different. But you know, the beautiful part about it, when you see them become who they are, you can reflect back on and feel better how you taught them to fight through whatever challenge that they go through.
You can't miss out on this opportunity. This is a great school. Enjoy your time while you're here. You can make you a better person, better student, and be prepared for life.
And education isn't something that you just go to school for just so you can pass the school. You want to enhance your understanding of things and cultivate your mind so then you can be productive citizens when they get older. Just being average we want to be allergic to that. We want to be successful. We want to be the best we possibly can.
Nativity School is different than public school because in public school, anybody can go there, act however they want without getting in trouble. But at Nativity School, you have to do an interview and all that to come to the school, and then you have to get accepted.
Our Director of Curriculum Instruction does the majority of the interviewing process in order for them to come to a 2-day camp. So we do a little mini 2-day camp where all the teachers are there.
When we give them a test, the test to see what level they on, their grade level, and just communicate with the parents, see what their strengths, their weaknesses.
We do regular classes with them, checking out their personalities, checking out their attitudes.
And that's our opportunity to get to know them so we can figure out the dynamics of how they're going to work together, how they respond to us, so we can kind of see, is this a student that's going to work here? Is this a student that we think we can really reach?
They must be actively involved in the education of their sons. Because the reality is that we can do all we can do here at school, but if we don't have a partner at home, then we are just swaying in the wind.
It's a tough process because you're choosing sometimes between 40 to 50 kids and you only can accept 15. So you're just hoping that the 15 that you pick comes in, work hard, applies themselves and gets all the benefits and the plus. It's always hard when you have to turn away some kids because our mission is to save every kid that possibly can come our way.
You wish everybody could come, But what we try to do is try to get those kids who we feel we can make a difference with.
And after that process, then we invite them to our overnight camp. And then that's when they kind of really are solidified as they're going to make it into a school, they're going to be a student here. But all the teachers are included in it because, again, we're working with them on a day-to-day basis.
I feel so great that I got to come to this school.
I like the events because sometimes we'll go to, like last year we went to Washington. We went to a lot of Penn State games.
We went on a college tour to Penn State University. That was a great experience too, because we never been to a big time college program like that. We went there, went around, seeing how the campus life was.
Summer camp, we have a lot of fun. We go out in the woods and we sleep in the cabin. So it's a different experience that other schools don't do.
When we went to the camp, some of the kids that was at this school, that started at this school, came back and they were probably like, they must really love this school if they came back. Camp is fun, but we want to be a counselor too, so we can help out the kids still, and so we still can see our teachers and stuff.
The talent show where anybody can sign up in the school for the talent show. You go on the stage, you perform your talent.
I didn't perform, but I was the MC, so I was like the host of it. It's fun because it gets everybody hyper and stuff.
This year I'm hoping to play on either the basketball team, the soccer team, or the lacrosse team.
We have a club called Rotary Club, and it's like we have to make money and stuff, and we have to stop the violence in the community, try to stop it.
When they step on that drill floor, I don't accept any mediocre anything. And they know that. They have an expectation that Sergeant Steve or Mr. Steve means business.
Present arms! Order arms! Parade rest! Attention!
And that's my 7th grade leader. He stepped up.
You need military drill when you have energetic young inner city boys. You got to get that energy out early in the morning. And it installs discipline, and it helps them to listen to themselves.
And once we put them on that drill floor and show them what they look like as a unified body of men, how they move together, how they work together, how they salute together, and the sound they make as one unified body, it blows me away.
Yes, sir. How are you? I feel excellent. I want to help our classmates out today. Nativity help me. Yes, sir. How are you?
Well, it's difficult for us to identify feelings. So we're able to show them, you got to express your feelings, talk about your feelings, what's going on with you today. And now you identify it, now you're asking your classmates to help you work through whatever feelings that you're having.
The kids would come to me and be like, teach me the prayers, teach me the prayers. So I would teach them the breakfast and lunch prayer.
I think the biggest successes is when they made it and now they're back to give back. Because it's kind of a cycle here. We need everybody's help. So those older kids teaching the younger kids what to do. You heard them talking downstairs, the 8th graders have to teach the 6th graders. But then when they go on to high school, there are other Nativity students there who are teaching them the way of their new school.
Some of them come from an absent father, so I'm a father figure to them. So to me, it's more than education, it's teaching them how to become men. Well, I came from a fatherless house. So I look at them as they was me and teach them what I would want a man to teach me. And it helps me build the relationships that I have with them today.
Mr. Muhammad, Coach DJ here, father figures in my life. I learned to care for other people, don't just be selfish and worry about myself. They taught me to be there for other people. Your brother needs help, be here to help him up.
Many of them, do not have fathers at home. So we are surrogate fathers, so we're able to really give back to them.
We work on unity and discipline, being my brother's keeper, and being men of standard.
We say that I'm my brother's keeper, so I think at the other school they don't apply that as much as we apply it here.
There's some young men out here today that will give you some practical examples of what God has done for them and how through prayer it works. We're bringing religion home to them in a practical way that they can actually see it working. And if I can do this here, if I can control myself here, I can control myself anywhere.
We do religion class, we learn a little bit about God, and last year we had a Bible bowl about you had to find the verses and read them, so that was very fun.
My relationship here got stronger with God. I know that my relationship with God is the key and most important. That will help me be successful in my life, and they helped me here with that. Now I read my Bible daily.
I'm a pastor, and I appreciate the faith-based background of our school, and therefore I'm able to impart to them some religious values, some spiritual values that will help them.
When they transition into our program in 6th grade, most of them are functioning on the 2nd or the 3rd grade reading level and math level.
Now we're working on 8th grade work, but they're going to try to push us up and make us and see if we can do 9th grade.
If you're struggling in something, the teachers take time after school to stay back and help you get better.
They blessed us with a great tutor that we have, Miss Lynch. So I know she's going to be there till like we go to college and through our early life. And I know that like I can always come back to Nativity, anything that I ever need, like anything that my family ever needs. Like they're always going to be there, help me out.
You can't get lost. There's 15 of you in a class. It's obvious where you need help. And then we have the time, because of the longer hours, we have the time to fix whatever those areas are.
Because of our environment, because of our rigorous curriculum, because of the love and the passion that the staff have for these boys are not only moving up a year, some instances they went up 2 years. So that's like a miracle. So they could have performed if they would have been in the proper environment, but we have that environment and we're able to do that.
We're able to build relationships here that you can't necessarily build at other places, and building those relationships is what makes us successful.
When I have to break them down, I build them back up. You know, I let them know where they made the mistake at and what they can do to change it, or just look at it different. You know, they just need a hug. Let them know, a pat on the back, let them know that you love them. Everybody can make a mistake, but you also gotta make your mistake and change it and keep moving on.
We try to teach our students to be less dependent and more independent. We want them to self-regulate. We want them to be able to challenge each other, confront each other, and create a safe environment for themselves.
So I want to give it all I got. I want to be on my A game. I want to have good grades. I hopefully want to get honor roll, like all A's.
I want to become a very good, strong, and positive leader.
In high school, they telling us that it's going to be hard, so we got to push ourselves now.
I want to get all A's and get honor roll. But when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
We're sending you to high school to go to college. And then from there, come back and give back.
In my future, I want to go to college 4 years, become a sportscaster. I just want to be successful in life. If I make it, I will give back to the school, donations and things like that.
Our boys are going to high school, they're graduating, they're going to college, and they're graduating and they're coming back and they're being successful.
Leadership, teamwork, confidence, and discipline. That's a big one. That's like over all the other words.
Never give up. Just keep pushing yourself. And if something's hard, I can ask for help. Or if they're not helping me in the high school, I can come here and get help too.
What we do here has a lasting effect on these kids for the rest of their lives.
I encourage myself and my classmates.
You can be successful no matter where you come from, no matter what walk of life. What you put in is what you get out.
Positive attitude.
There's a lot of magic here.
When you give, it is giving back when you see them step onto the world stage and realize that everything that they have done started with the building blocks of Nativity.
I'm passionate about what we do here. I believe very strongly in our mission, and it's an honor for us to be able to be in this place and to be able to teach these boys.
Prepared. I gotta be prepared.
And it's beautiful to see them come back and say thank you, or I made it, or I want to volunteer, or what can I do to help the kids at Nativity School.
It's not a job for me to come here every day.
When you see them that night at graduation and they're going to Trinity, they're going to McDevitt, they're going to other schools, you are proud of the work that you've done to be able to help them to excel.
It's what I've always dreamed about doing, serving the needs of inner city boys with a supportive board that thinks like me, wants to change reality, and it's just something like, it's not a job, it's a dream come true. It's a dream come true. It doesn't matter how many times I watch that video, it really touches me. And I'm sure it touched you today. So this is who we are. And we thank you again for coming. I saw one of our previous speakers, Chris Franklin. Can you stand up? He was one of our speakers a few years ago. We all know him from the Harlem Globetrotters. Also like to thank M&T Bank. They underwrote this event today. And I want to bring up my boss here today. This is one of our 7th graders. His name is Hasir. Come on, 8th graders, I'm sorry. Oh, please don't let me say 7th graders. Please don't let me say that. But this, you need a ladder? You all right, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
Let me put this down. This guy right here is a cancer survivor.
Got a little bit today.
That's it. He's going to introduce our main speaker.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hasir Thomas, and I'm an 8th grade cancer survivor who attends the Nativity School of Harrisburg. I was diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 3, and at the age of 3 in 2009 and went into remission in 2014 at the age of 8. I had to undergo my last surgery to release my Mediport. Aside from that, our speaker this morning is Secretary John Wetzel. Secretary John Wetzel began his career in 1989 as a correctional officer who worked his way through the ranks as a counselor, treatment supervisor, director of the Berks County Training Academy, and warden of Franklin County Jail. He had held his current position since 2011. His legacy is strong, including reducing Pennsylvania's jail population by 20%, improving long-term outcomes for offenders, and implementing innovative programs. Welcome, Secretary Wetzel.
How about a round of applause for Hasir? Man, that was awesome. You didn't have to be nervous. First of all, thank you so much, Sherry. Thanks for the invite and the opportunity to come here. This is just such a special place. It's really an honor, and I really mean that, to be here today. But I got to tell you, when you hear corrections and you hear inner city kids, some of you may be thinking, oh, I'm going to hear how we can keep these kids out of prison. And if you came to hear that, you should just leave right now. Because that is so insulting to these kids. That's our framing oftentimes. That these kids, that there's an inevitability of incarceration because kids grow up in a tough environment. And it's bull. These kids are so much better than that. But in America, oftentimes, the zip code that you're born in determines your outcomes. And I got to tell you, earlier this week, I was at this prison in Indiana, Pennsylvania called SCI Pine Grove. And I dread this visit every year. And this is the prison that we have our young adult program. And young adult is kind of a misnomer because in Pennsylvania, you can go to state prison at age 13. And we currently have 400 people who came into state prison as children, as a child. But that's not the worst part. Let me take you with me inside this prison at this visit, and I will tell you I have the same conversation every year. And it's really the true reason I'm here. I walk into this prison, and I see this 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kid who's probably doing at least 10 years, right? Because they're in a state prison, so they probably did something pretty serious. And they're not even old enough to shave. Little baby face, and a brown baby face that looks like mine. And then we have this same conversation. And I go, hey, help me understand how you got to a state prison. You're 15 years old. How did you get to a state prison? The answer's the same every time. I go, I'm not gonna lie, Secretary. I thought I was gonna be dead by 25. So what does it matter? What does it matter? And you know, that's indicative of a kid who has no hope. And that's sad. That's sad for him. It's sad for me, but more importantly, it's sad for all of us. The fact that there's kids who are born and they think the normal part of maturing is to go through a correctional system in the land of opportunity, it just blows my mind.
And this school got it right. And I got to tell you, the formula is not super complicated, right? Expose kids to an opportunity. Surround them with unconditional love. Let them know that they count. Let them know that they can be whatever they want to be. So we have the answer. But you heard earlier, and the thing I can't stand, and I heard it again today. X number of kids apply, Y number of kids get in. Think about that for a second. Think about being a kid in a challenging environment, and you have to hit the lottery to have an opportunity that most of us take for granted. But that's what's going on right here in Harrisburg, right here in Pennsylvania, right here in America. You got to hit the lottery to get the opportunity. And it's about opportunity. So if you would write down opportunity and then write N-O-W-H-E-R-E all together, you could look at that two ways. It could be opportunity is now here, or opportunity is nowhere. And it depends on your perspective. And the thing about kids is they get their perspective by who they're around and what they're exposed to. Let me tell you about another kid, a kid who came to state prison named Lewis at age 15 with a life sentence. And up until 2012, you could get a life sentence being younger than 18. Fortunately, the Supreme Court changed that. But this kid came in for a life sentence. And here's the worst part about Lewis's sentence. Lewis got a life sentence, and he didn't commit a murder. And you go, that's not possible. Oh, it is possible. Yeah. He was present in a vehicle when someone else shot somebody. And in Pennsylvania, they call that felony murder. And you can get life without parole for felony murder. So when Lewis came in, he had dropped out of school, which is, fairly common for folks who end up in prison. And he had a assessed IQ of 68. And Lewis tells this story, and he actually has a TED Talk. We did a TED Talk inside the prison he was in, and it's on the internet. You can find it, SCI Grader for TED Talk, and you can find his TED Talk. He came in and he couldn't read. And he tells this story about how he got in trouble, and he was in restrictive housing or the hole or solitary confinement, and his mom sent him a letter, and he couldn't read it. And he talked about just sitting in his cell and just crying and just feeling horrible about it, and humiliated that he had to ask someone else to read this letter from his mom. But fortunately, somebody saw something in Lewis that he didn't see in himself. And they encouraged him to get into school. Lewis learned how to read, got a high school diploma, ultimately got a college degree from Villanova. Yes, you can get a college degree in prison. College degree from Villanova. And then the Supreme Court changed the law about sentencing juveniles to life without parole. And Lewis is in the community today, doing well, working and thriving. But we wrote Lewis off. We didn't expose him to an opportunity to be who he could be. And this school exposes people to an opportunity. Now, I'm going to tell you, if we know the path, and as a society, as a community, as a government, we're not walking the path, the difference is courage. We lack the courage to do the right thing. Nativity School does the right thing, but doesn't have the opportunity to do the right thing for enough kids. Earlier this week, the same day I was at Pine Grove, I was able to be with former Pittsburgh Steeler Rocky Bleier, who is like, I'm a huge Eagles fan, but I'm a huge Rocky Bleier fan. One of the most motivational human beings I've ever met in my life. And he said something that really resonated with me. He said there's 3 things that you can never take back. That once they're gone, they're gone. The first thing is your words. I would amend that to say your tweets and your social media, kids. Can't take that back either. Someone's going to screenshot it, even if you delete it. The second is time. And the third is opportunity. we have an opportunity here. And I got to tell you, we got to do something different. The notion that you have kids who are exposed to the harsh reality of the world at 10 years old, at 11 years old. It's not something that can't be overcome, but it has to be overcome the right way. And business as usual, just kind of processing through, teaching to the test, that's not getting it done. It's about caring. It's about telling someone, yes, you made a mistake, but that doesn't make you a bad person. We still love you. You still have an opportunity. And let me wrap up with this. Earlier this week, I was with this group from California, and they talked about this Mexican proverb. And I got to tell you, it must be providence that I heard this story this week, and I'm going to share it with you because it really is about what I feel in this room right now. And the proverb is that young boys in a community, young boys in a village, have a fire burning in them. And we all know that they have a fire burning in them. Like working that fire out every morning, doing drill, there's a fire burning in those kids. But there's two things that happen. When that fire is nurtured, and that fire is nurtured by love and acceptance and selflessness and hope, that fire in those young boys grows, and it grows and it grows and it grows, and ultimately it warms the village. And that's the next generation, and it comes in and it warms the village. And this room is so warm from the fire that's burning inside these young men, and that's burning this warm because that fire has been nurtured, and it's grown, and it's growing, and it's growing, and it's gonna warm this Nativity community forever. But there's another thing that happens. When that fire is not nurtured, guess what? It still grows. And it grows and it grows and it grows, and then it burns the community down. Think about that for a second. Take a look at some of our communities. Those communities are burning. And those communities are burning because we're not nurturing and we're not developing that fire, and that fire is not only burning the kids up, but it's burning all of us up. And so the opportunity is real simple. We have a choice. The opportunity is either now here or nowhere. And the difference is courage, and the difference is us. And if we have the courage to do the right thing, the courage to do what it takes to give kids an opportunity who need and deserve a damn opportunity, then our village will be warm, and these kids have an opportunity. Thank you so much.